After a Venezuelan gang took over an apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado, a new landlord took over and is trying to pay the tenants $1,200 to leave. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News.
Gang Tren de Aragua are seen breaking into apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado. This is according to our sister station in Denver. There you can see the group well armed and forcing an apartment door open and making their way in. This has raised concerns amongst residents and Colorado state law enforcement officials. The city of Aurora is issuing a statement today in the wake of national attention following the video's release.
All right, so I have an interesting article for you today, and it's coming out of Aurora, Colorado. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure that you've heard the stories about this Venezuelan gang that took over an apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado. So basically, at this point in time, the apartment complex has come under new management. Okay, there's new landlords in there, and the issue they're having is nobody's paying rent. Nobody who lives in this building is paying rent. They say some of that is due to, they had these activist groups come in there and tell people, no, you shouldn't be paying because the place is in disrepair. So the problem is, of course, that without any rental income coming in, how are you supposed to pay for repairs? Okay, we need to get rid of these tenants. And that's what this new landlord is trying to do. They're saying, hey, we'll give you money, just go. Just get the heck out of here. That way we can get the place cleaned up, get new tenants up in there, get the gang up out of here, and no more problems. Well, the tenants, they're not having it. They think it's not enough money, so they're demanding higher payouts. Now, this is a crazy situation. I mean, I haven't heard of a Venezuelan gang taking over an apartment complex before. Obviously, big problems with that sort of situation. The landlord claimed that they weren't doing repairs because the gang was, being threatening and etc. I think it's a little bit of both, where the gang was a problem and the landlord probably wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing as well. But I don't think that you can lay all of the blame onto the landlord. The city should have never taken so many freaking illegal aliens in the first place. That's my personal opinion. But anyway, let me tell you exactly what's going on in this situation. But before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like, subscribe button, maybe leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. So, have you ever paid a tenant to leave before? I'm just curious. Have you ever paid a tenant to leave and that way you could have your units back and maybe do repairs and get the place updated, etc. I have not, okay? And I'm not looking forward to the day that I'm gonna have to do that, because I feel like I am getting taken advantage of at that point. But let's see what it says in this story in concern to Aurora, Colorado apartment complex. This article is coming from the longmontleader.com, and it says, landlord offers cash for keys at troubled Aurora complex. Let's get into it. Tenants at Aurora's Whispering Pines apartments face uncertainty this holiday season as the new court-appointed landlord offers money for them to move out. Critics argue the plan does little to address the deeper issues at the property and risks displacing vulnerable tenants. Kevin Singer was recently appointed by the court to manage Whispering Pines Apartments, a complex long associated with code violations and neglect. The property, previously under CBZ management, had a history of unresolved maintenance issues, from broken heaters to structural problems, leading to tenant complaints and city violations. And, one of my big issues is, right, that we don't know why. What was the issue that was causing the people not to do the repairs, okay? And if the owner of the property is upside down, and they're not being paid rent, and that is the reason why this property fell into disrepair, well, I mean, it's kind of understandable why you're not doing repairs if you ain't got no money, okay? If you ain't got no money, you can't do repairs. That's why I'm saying, hey, if anything, you need to make sure that these tenants are paying their rent. They just can't withhold the rent. They need to be putting the rent into escrow with the city, and then the city holding on to the money so that the landlord can do the repairs. That's what the logic says, right? But instead, these tenants are, I'm just not paying. Well, then get the heck out, okay? I mean, it's 100% illegal in my opinion. But like I said, I don't know Colorado laws. I don't know how much tenant protections they have. And the fact that these people are withholding rent for this long, regardless of if the landlord is doing the repairs or not, you need to be paying that rent, because when the repairs are done, are you going to be capable of paying them? I don't think so. These people, what they're really doing is they're getting a free ride and taking advantage of the situation. If the place is so awful, why are you still living there? Because you're living there for free, of course. Now, let's talk about this Venezuelan gang, okay? I don't know what the security issues are, if they've been able to get these people up out of there or not. But until that issue is resolved, well, this place is just going to be a hellhole, okay? I mean, we all saw the videos of people, literally these gang members walking through with rifles through the hallways, knocking on doors. That is ridiculous. Now, I don't know if it's still going on like that or not, but the issue is, right, if this place, whether it's Venezuelan gang or it's just, regular American criminals who are allowed to take over the place, it's got a crime problem there, and they need to get it cleaned up. So what are they going to do about it? Who knows at this point? Now, it says the city appointed this property manager to come in there and make these changes. I don't know if the ownership changed. I don't know what's going on with this place, but this is insane, okay? Crazy situation. Singer reported that the property's condition was better than expected, though it still required substantial improvements. Initial steps included installing new security cameras, boarding up broken windows, and addressing pest control. Despite these efforts, significant work remains to bring the complex up to code. Tenants offered $1,200 to vacate. Under Singer's management, a cash for keys program was introduced to encourage tenants to leave voluntarily. The offer of $1,200 comes after only one tenant paid rent in October, a situation Singer attributes to advocacy groups advising tenants to withhold rent until repairs are made. The program has sparked concern, with critics arguing that $1,200 is insufficient to secure new housing in today's rental market. Well, you should be saving quite a bit of money since you're not paying rent, right? You should have thousands of dollars just piled up from all that rent that you haven't paid, right? Right? Wrong. Okay, these tenants are irresponsible people. Like I said, they're taking advantage of the situation, and then they're saying, well, $1,200 isn't enough. Well, if you haven't paid rent in 5 months or 6 months, and it's $1,000 a month, you should have saved $6,000. Then you should have plenty of money to move along, but you don't. I'm not surprised. I expected this to happen. I expect them to ask for more money, and maybe the landlord will be able to pay it, maybe not. But the whole situation just, it stinks. This is the kind of place where you need to clear the entire place out and start over again. Whatever tenants that the previous landlord or the previous property manager put in there are garbage. And anybody in there who you don't know, like these gang members, if they're still up in there without a lease or whatever, need to have the police clear them out. So there's only one way to turn this property around. And it's like taking a hammer, and you got to take a hammer to it, just clear the place out, get all the crappy tenants out of there, get all the people not paying out of there, be able to do all the repairs, bring it back up, then rent it out at market rates. Simple, right? No, not simple. It's going to cost a lot of money. But there's, I'm sure, plenty of ambitious landlords in the state of Colorado who'd be willing to jump in there and try this project. And so we'll see what happens. That's all I can say at this point, okay? So let me know what you think of this whole situation. Do you think that the gang issue was actually what caused this apartment complex to fall into disrepair? Do you think that it was more the landlord that was not doing the repairs for one reason or another? Let me know what you think. Put a comment in the comment section down below.